So the teams that are getting under-talked about, or in other words, not getting enough respect. So let's start with this. Should they get more respect? Number 10 on the list, West Virginia Mountaineers. They are 4-1 in the Big 12.
No. I mean, Neil Brown's doing a great job of saving his job, and they're pounding teams into submission. It's just an unforgiving, kind of like a welfare U of M offense. They just lean on you. 4 returning starters on the O-line. But, David, they're not that good, and it'll even out. But Neil Brown probably is saving his job.
But, I mean, your only loss is Penn State? I think, David, I think that you know what they are. How do you phrase that? Not being talked about enough?
It's
the Zoolander school for kids who don't read well.
Teams that aren't getting enough respect is what it is.
Yes. I think they deserve a little more respect. I do. I didn't think they were good, but all of a sudden, a little resurgence. Yes, not playing great teams, but could have easily folded.
The next team on the list that should maybe get enough respect, they're number 25 on the list. We found out their stadium is now called L&N Credit Union Stadium, and that is Louisville Cardinals, 5-0.
Show me Friday night. That's really what it comes down to. If they pull it off, they beat Notre Dame, they become a real hot story in the ACC. They get flatlined, we'll know that the first 5 games were fake. I think they're right where they need to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, beating Notre Dame pretty much sets up now down to them in Florida State. So, yeah, I think that they have it, but this is their test. Show us.
Well, and also the next couple of weeks, they get Notre Dame this week. They got Duke. They got a trip to Miami.
But see, Duke's not going to be the same Duke team.
Oh, Riley Leonard's dead. You're right.
But, hey,
yeah, that's going to be a
Elko.
Oh, hey, let's make another poverty hire.
Ask him right after the game. Next team on the list, they are 4-0. Charles Huff's team. Marshall Thundering Herd, they are 20-10 overall under him in his 3rd year.
Yeah, they damn near lost to Old Dominion last week. You think I'm going to sit here and that doesn't make my privates tingle. Old Dominion might be the worst Division I team in the land. Look, Huff's done a nice job, but he took over a stable program that Doc Holliday left him. He's got the win over Notre Dame from last year. But if you want me to start believing in Huff, show me what they do the rest of the way. I can't sit here and act like it's this an injustice that Charles Huff has not talked about more.
Huh? Famous alum from Old Dominion? Not even famous. I'm just
Hold on. From Old Dominion?
He's just an alum.
Who?
Former MSU quarterback, Messiah DeWeaver.
That's where he ended up?
Yep.
Talk about a fall from grace.
Isn't JV from Old Dominion too? I think he is.
Yeah. Maybe.
He's more famous than Messiah DeWeaver.
Yeah, I think Kenny wins that competition.
Yeah, okay,
well done.
Kenny. You know what? He just wanted it more.
Famous Marshall grads.
Randy Moss.
Chad Pennington.
Yeah, Randy.
Byron Leftwich.
Ahmad Bradshaw.
Ahmad Bradshaw?
Yeah. All right.
This is not a part of the blitz.
Next.
Next team on the
Matthew
list.
McConaughey's poor accent.
Next.
We are Marshall. Next team on the list, they are 4-1. Their only loss is to Mizzou. It's the Memphis Tigers.
Listen, I watched their game against Boise last week. No. David, they have a great home field advantage somehow. They don't lose in the Liberty Bowl. But what do you want me to say about being talked about? Are they the best group of 5 team? No.
I was about to say, this is a team that if you put them in a Power 5 conference, they would lose a lot of games. So, no.
Well, then I'll just throw them in there because you're probably
this is why we're not talking about them.
You're probably going to say the same thing about this team. They shouldn't get talked about. It is the Liberty.
No,
4-0.
That could be, and that's what Jamie Chadwell, the former Coastal Carolina coach, they could be the best non-Power 5.
They get the spot in the
New Year's 6
games.
Yeah, that could be the one.
Now, that's where they'll get a chance, in the New Year's 6 game to show, hey, we really did belong. We were that good. But that's it.
Next team on the list, they lost their quarterback, though. I don't know if they should really be talked about.
What?
I mean, Texas A&M, they are 4-1.
Okay, they should be talked about, but you got to table it till Saturday night. But there's no fall off from Weigman to Max Johnson. There really isn't. Johnson was always good, highly touted.
I was about to say highly recruited.
The O-line at LSU got him murdered. They've got it together this year. He looks good. I know it's weird because he's left-handed, but look, David, I can't believe I'm going to say this. I think they're going to beat Bama Saturday.
Woo!
I think they're going to beat them.
That's a scorcher, right?
And at 5-1, they should be talked about in a different manner. And boy, howdy, if you like toxicity and spite and venom and grotesque convos, buckle up for Tuscaloosa if they lose that game to A&M Saturday.
Jimbo beating Saban again.
Oh.
And that would pretty much end Alabama's season.
It would end all of it. It would be a disaster.
What did you do if you're Bama with 2 losses right now? I don't think they – Kenny, stop.
It would end Nick Saban's career there. I mean, come on. And you would just
hate to see it.
We'll see Kenny in about 4 hours.
I need to get out of this room fast.
Right.
Next team on the list, Rico, you love this team. They are 5-0. They play in the Big Ten.
Oh.
They have a quarterback named Tualia Tagovailoa. They are Maryland.
Oh, Jesus.
Should they be talked about more?
No. No, they shouldn't, David. They have fed on bad teams. They have. Put it this way. Statistically, they should have lost to MSU. That should tell you everything you need to know about this team. MSU shot themselves in the foot 5 times. They would have beat Maryland. They're 5-0, but they're a fraudulent 5-0. I can say that, Mike.
That's personal growth, my man. I'm proud of you.
Next team on the list, they are number 13 in the AP poll. They have a coach named Jake Dickert. They are the Washington State Cougars at 4-0.
They're good, but I think they're going to take an L this week against UCLA. I mean, look, everything runs through the quarterback, Cameron Ward. Incarnate Word transfer. They've got a really brilliant offensive mind as their OC, a kid named Ben Arbuckle.
But Ward is, he's getting that Heisman talk.
Maybe by crackheads. But the whole point is their defense is ass. It's going to catch up to them. I think they're a nice early story.
And the Pac-12 is about to cannibalize himself in about 3 weeks.
And a lot of teams are about to dine on the riblets of Washington State here in the next month.
Yeah, the next team on this list, I don't think they should be talked about. I get it, they're 4-0, but they beat Miami of Ohio, Texas A&M, Bethune-Cookman,
Miami,
and Temple, and that's Miami.
Yeah, I just need.
You know what? Yeah.
Now hanging half 100 on A&M, that is
looks
something
more impressive.
That's
now.
not nothing, especially if A&M goes out and beats Bama Saturday. But this is a critical week if you want me to talk about Miami.
Yeah, because other than that, congratulations, you are the.
Champions of Dade County.
King of the HBCUs.
You're exactly right. And the last team on the list, they will get talked about more after this weekend. They are number 12. It is Oklahoma. They are 5-0.
They're frauds.
There it is. Right there, David.
They haven't played anybody.
This game, I know he's thinking it's going to be a runaway game. It just seems like every year this is one of those where one team goes out and you turn it off and you're like, wait, how did you lose? Oklahoma's going to be playing for pride. It's the Red River Shootout.
Okay.
David, horns down.
Okay, so let me give you some actual data. For one, they've played nothing. Second of all, I'll say it again.
Doesn't matter.
All right, you know what? Tell it.
I'm kidding. Go ahead.
No, I mean this is just generally it's a series. You're right, but this isn't that Texas. This is not the Longhorns of old. Dylan Gabriel, name the last big game he played in. He hasn't. They have no running game. They don't. Now, Andrell Anthony, right. The not Nick Anderson, but the other kid they got it wide out.
Big 12 normally doesn't run the ball. I get
That's
what you're saying,
lie.
Mike. I get what you're saying.
You're lying.
No, I'm saying, but it's more of a passing conference.
Kansas State hammers the ball. Texas hammers the football.
I'm talking historically speaking.
Right, but we're not in history. We're in the now.
Mike, calm down. I'm about to give you a compliment.
Okay.
Ever since Quinn Ewers cut the hair and got serious, you know what?
Yes.
He's actually playing like a real quarterback.
Up next, Kenny gets a haircut.
I just don't know.
Serious.
I just don't know if I want to see you that happy. That's
okay.
all.
That's fair. I would also just argue Oklahoma, teams are moving it. Now, they bog you down in the red zone. But when Cincy is going up and down the field and
that was scary
and imploding, SMU did the same thing. Hey, if Oklahoma wins, they're one of the 5 best teams in America. I don't buy it.
It's their only test, really, to beat Texas. They don't have anything left on their schedule.
Yeah, and look, for my purposes, Texas could lose and still win the Big 12 and go to the playoff and the whole bit, but I just don't see it.
They would have to run it back.
Yeah,
correct.
Yep, top two. There's no division, so top two get to play. It's really, thank God the Big Ten's going to it. I can't take any more to Big Ten title game.
You're not a big believer to Big Ten West?
Big Ten West, condom with hole in it.
Just remember, 2 weeks ago, Iowa was the best team.
Yeah. What a blessing. And that is your college football blitz.